Hi, I'm Dr. Norman Eng, creator of the Teaching College Masterclass. I help professors and college instructors 10x their impact in the classroom through a teaching approach that focuses on students rather than content. You're watching the 5-Minute Teaching Makeover. This video will help you see teaching as being about clear communication more than anything else. So let's start by talking about how the brain works. In other words, how we learn. The brain is a vast network of connections that require an enormous amount of energy to keep it running. So the brain is always trying to conserve energy. One way it conserves is to forget things. There are mechanisms in the brain that erase unnecessary information. That explains, for instance, why we always forget where we put our keys. And when there's competing information, like in a dense PowerPoint slide, the brain is figuring out what's important and what's not. That takes energy. So when you speak in a confusing way or lose focus, your student's brain is saying, I'm burning too many calories to follow this lecture, so I'm just going to shut down, daydream, to conserve energy. Next time you see students nodding off, that's what happened. And remember, students, especially the current Generation Z, have so many other competing priorities, and they don't have time to waste in what doesn't pay off. Learning has to have a tangible ROI. So how do we overcome this brain's desire to conserve energy, to shut down? One way is to recognize that professors can suffer from the curse of knowledge. This happens when we think that students understand us better than they actually do, because it's easy to forget that what we know is not common knowledge. For example, I teach education, and once I was describing the term cultural literacy. It went right over their heads, and at the time, I couldn't find a way to simplify it. Remember, when we confuse people, they're going to check out because their brain is using too much energy. So let's just say I have a scale from 1 to 10. 1 being my students' understanding of cultural literacy. I want to communicate down here at a level 1 or 2. But because I live in the world of 10, my explanation ended up more like a level 7, which is still too advanced. This massive gap from 7 to 1 is the curse of knowledge. But maybe you're thinking, Norman, do we really want to make it that easy? I'm offended that you want to, quote unquote, dumb it down. It's higher education, for Christ's sake. Let me tell you something that marketers know that professors don't, because I used to work as an advertising executive. Consumers don't always buy the best product. They usually buy the product that they understand the fastest. Think about why Domino's Pizza became so successful. Their promise was, we deliver in under 30 minutes or it's free. That's why people order from Domino's. So when it comes to teaching, students will gravitate to content they understand the fastest and the easiest. Your job is to take that 10 and make it into a 1. Not a 7, not a 5. A 1. And again, it's not that they're stupid. Their brain is just making choices. We're bombarded with 3,000 commercial messages on a given day. Organize your message in a way that makes it easy for them to buy in. So let's put your teaching to the test. A 15-second grunt test, I call it. Take your course syllabus, the page where you have the course description and outcomes. Show it to someone outside academia, like a neighbor or a friend. Have them read it and take it away after 15 seconds. Will your friend be able to answer, 1, what's the purpose of this course? Like, why are students taking it? And 2, how will it make their life better? If your friend can't answer these 2 questions, students won't either. They'll think your course is just like every course they've taken. A part of them is already zoning out. Your course description should be so shockingly simple to understand that a caveman can grunt out the answers. That's why it's called the grunt test. But there are ways to bridge that expert blind spot. In the next 5-minute video, I'm going to go through 5 things you can do to bridge that gap and sharpen your teaching. keep an eye out for that.